brisk and optimistic March afternoon, I should say, here at Saul Goodman Park, the newly minted home stadium of the Tufts University Jumbos. And we are here for the baseball team's season opener of 2023, as the Tufts Jumbos will enter a non-conference game against the MIT Engineers, who are currently sitting at 1-3. As you know, it's going to be a pretty exciting time here at, again, one of the home stadiums here of Tufts University. Of course, the field has been minted newly on homecoming, and we are graciously here and had a couple of hiccups with the setup, but we are finally ready for some baseball. Welcome everybody to coverage of NCAA Division III baseball presented by JumboCast. My name is Andrew Howe. I'll be guiding you through the action today in a non-conference matchup between the Jumbos and the MIT Engineers. This is the Jumbos' first game of the 2023 season after losing some pretty notable pieces in their lineup. Peter DeMaria, Kyle Cortez, Miles Reed, Ryan Noon, all heart-of-the-order members of this Jumbo lineup, and are going to have to be replaced with some new faces to this roster. And on the other side, MIT, historically a strong team in the NUMAC conference, unfortunately had a bit of a rough year in the 19th season for Coach Andy Barlow in 2022, going 18-23-1. But they're going to look to try to turn things around, have a team full of young, new players looking to make an impact here on a historic organization in Division III. Going through the lineups right now as we are awaiting opening pitch. Both sides have had the lineups announced, as we can take a look at the starting lineup for the MIT Engineers. Leading off at shortstop is Zev Moore, the freshman. At second base, batting second is Kyle Sinandres. Batting third in center field is the center fielder Teddy Schoenfeld. Cleaning up is the DH for today, Jake Sinandres. Batting fifth, playing first base is Graham Cartwright. Sixth is Eitan Moore, Zev Moore's brother. Batting seventh, behind the plate, is Godfrey Tang. It will be playing at third base, and rounding out the lineup, batting ninth, the right fielder, sophomore Reed Tubbs. Jumbos will be taking the field in a few minutes, led out by their newly minted ace, Cameron Mayer. Mayer, of course, getting the opening day start after a pretty strong season in 2022. Started off strong, ended off strong, had a couple of hiccups in the middle of the road, but is looking to rebound here in what could very well be his last season as a Tufts Jumbo. In 8 starts last year, Mayer put up a 5.28 ERA in 46 innings pitched, striking out 64 with a 1.24 whip. The notable thing about Mayer, does not walk too many batters, only 3 bases on balls allowed in the extended amount of time that he got on the mound in 2022. As a senior out of Syosset, New York, will look to hang out and really bring some life into a Jumbo's roster that in 2022 was no stranger to hitting the ball on the offensive end, but on the pitcher side, maybe a little bit weaker. Jumbos have taken the field and go over the defensive alignment for the Jumbos. Behind the dish will be the catcher, Connor Bowman. At first base, Todd Stowicki getting the start. Henry Fleckner at second base, Ozzie Fleischer at short, Patrick Solomon at third base. And in the outfield, left to right, it is Ben Leonard, Jackson Duffy, and Jimmy Evans. A lot of optimism for the Tufts Jumbos here in their second season, led by Coach Paul Zvagdis. Of course, losing in the NESCAC quarterfinals in a best-of-3 series to Middlebury last year was not where that team wanted to end their run. And of course, with a lot of these key pieces missing after graduating last year or transferring to other schools, in the case of some players like Peter DeMaria. Of course, looking for a fresh start. So we have some new faces across the diamond, and pretty excited for things to get started. About to get underway here. Again, newly minted ballpark, Saul Goodman Park. You know, we at Tufts University have seen the construction of this field for the past couple of months, you know, throughout the summer into the fall. And a really exciting opportunity here to get things started. Of course, this game was delayed a couple of days because of the weather, but we are back here ready to go. The freshman Zev Moore enters the batter's box. Mayer is ready to go. And we are underway of the Tufts Jumbos 2023 baseball season. First pitch at Gittleman Park is an outside ball. Ball is grounded very, very softly down the third base line, and Bowman is unable to get there in time. So a quick leadoff single for Zev Moore. He's been hitting the ball very nicely in his freshman campaign so far out of Jerusalem, Israel originally. Hitting .500 on the season, going to get things started with a base hit. And now with an early runner on. Of course, weak contact there on that first play. You're not going to be too upset with that if you are Mayer. But here comes Kyle Sinandres. And the ball gets away on a pickoff move, and that is going to send Moore all the way over to second base. So not the greatest start here for the Jumbos. And there's already a runner in scoring position just 3 pitches into the game. Kyle Sinandres coming off of a great campaign last year, hitting .341. Was on the all-Numac second team. Has his brother also in the lineup, Jake, in that DH role today. First pitch is a called strike. The 0-1. Swung on and lined straight into center field. That is a base hit. Looks like Duffy's going to get around it, but it looks like the run will score. And very quickly into this first game, Zev Moore comes around. It's an RBI single for Kyle Sinandres, and the Engineers lead 1-0. So 2 quick hits and a failed pickoff move will get a run onto the board for MIT very early on. Teddy Schoenfeld, the center fielder, comes to the plate. The junior out of Boulder, Colorado. Also an excellent campaign last season. Schoenfeld was NUMAC All-Conference first team last season. Has reached base safely in 40 out of the 42 games played in 2022. The 1-0. Upstairs, it is 2-0. Jumbo's starting Todd Stowicki at first base today. Connor Flavin currently out with an injury, the captain. So getting some extra opportunities here for the junior out of Chandler, Arizona. Pitch is fouled into the third base side. Is it a 2-1 count? The righty Mayer deals. Pitches downstairs, 3-1 with the runner on first. No outs here in the first inning of Tufts Jumbos baseball of 2023. The pitch, runner goes down the plate for a strike. The throw is in time. Fleischer tags him out. And a quick out onto the board here for the Jumbos. A brilliant throw by Connor Bowman, the catcher, right on the money to retire Sinandres. Bowman, a elite defensive catcher here in the NESCAC. Has been given a lot of playing time because of that defense. The bat working well last year as well, as that pitch is upstairs for a walk over to Schoenfeld. So Cameron Mayer has given up 2 hits and a walk to start off his 2023 campaign. Of course, only allowed 3 walks throughout the entirety of last season, so normally has control of the ball. Of course, first game of the season, maybe looking to just get things under control. As the cleanup hitter, Jake Sinandres comes to the plate. Pitch is upstairs. You can see the Engineers taking pretty aggressive leads at first base, and they are willing to go here on the base path. Sinandres last season had 8 stolen bases, was caught twice, and going to start this year off with a caught stealing as well. Runner goes, as it's a hit and run situation. Fleischer's going to get to it, but it does get the runner over to second, and the ball is dropped by Stowicki, which will advance the runner to third on the other side. So now runners on first and third, 1 out, as a bit of another defensive mishap there by the Jumbos. Fleischer throw was a little short, and Stowicki was unable to get that on the pick. And so another jam here for Cameron Mayer to try to escape. You can see that the hit and run just providing pressure. MIT has been working pretty well on the offensive end so far this season and looking to continue that here in this first inning. As the first pitch is swung on here, ball is popped up, and Stowicki in foul territory will be able to run over and make the play. And Cartwright is retired here. Jumbos were given an error on that play of the ground ball to Fleischer. And so now 2 errors early on here for this Jumbo squad. Again, new members here on the diamond. Defensive mishaps might be kind of in store, just as some of the growing pains will potentially be had here for this team as they open up the season. No, ball was right on the corner. Umpire did not want to give him that call, as the left fielder, Eitan Moore, steps into the box. 2 outs, 1-1 count. And the check swing, the batter did go around. And so now Mayer has a chance to get out of this with only 1 run scored after a pretty shaky start to this first inning. The pitch upstairs, right where Bowman wanted it, but does not look like Moore and decided to swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch to Moore, right down the plate, swung on and missed, and the Jumbos will retire the side. But not before some damage has been done. 1 run was scored off of 2 hits and 2 errors by the Tufts Jumbos. There were a couple of members left on base, but the Jumbos do escape with only 1 run given up as they will go to bat in the bottom of the first inning. Headed to the bottom of the first here at Saul Goodman Park. The Jumbos will get their first at-bats in their new stadium. Already a run scored by MIT. Tufts, of course, yet to come to bat here in this opening game of the 2023 season. Take a look at their lineup. Ben Leonard will lead things off, followed by Patrick Solomon. Jimmy Evans in the 3-hole. Connor Bowman, the catcher, will clean up. Todd Stowicki will bat 5th, right following Clay Sowell. Jackson Duffy, the 7th-hitter, followed by Ozzie Fleischer, the shortstop. And rounding things out, the second baseman, Henry Fleckner. And on the mound here for the MIT Engineers is the junior Carl Meyer, number 6, out of Indianapolis, Arizona. Appeared mostly in relief last year, did enter the starting rotation here for 2023 in his first start of the season. Pitched 3 innings, allowed 2 runs in a relatively standard outing. Ben Leonard comes to the plate. That pitch is a bit down. Leonard, of course, entered last season and really burst onto the scene in a really nice way for the Jumbos on the offensive end. Hit 350 and 60 at-bats with a 1.037 OPS, so was able to get on base pretty regularly and really hit the ball nicely while playing some decent left field. The 2-2. Called strike 3 on the off-speed by Meyer. And that is the first out here recorded on the Jumbos. Patrick Solomon comes to the plate for the first time of the season. The junior out of Northborough, Massachusetts. Solomon hit 300 last season with 33 hits and 1 very, very big home run, a walk-off grand slam against Colby, I believe, on April 1st of 2022. The most memorable home run of the year, but also the only home run hit for Solomon, although he is able to get a little bit of power, has 6 doubles on the season, mostly serving as that contact bat in the lineup. An early 2-1 count, downstairs and away. So Solomon will have the opportunity to get a runner on for the Jumbos. Meyer deals. The pitch hanging but a tad low on the off speed, so Solomon will work a walk in his first plate appearance of the season. And with a runner on early in this first inning, up comes Jimmy Evans, the lefty. Evans coming in here for a very, very exciting senior season. The senior out of Norwalk, Connecticut, put up a 943 OPS last season with 6 home runs and 10 stolen bases. A very, very effective season on both ends of the ball. Was one of the primary offensive weapons for the Jumbos last year. Has moved down in the lineup from, I believe, 2 to 3, getting a chance to drive some more runners in this year. Count is 1-0. Pitch is upstairs. You see Solomon being checked on by the catcher Godfrey. Solomon with 6 stolen bases last season. So definitely a threat on the base pass, as many of the Jumbos are. The 2-0 swung on and fouled back, count 2-1. Evans last season was NESCAC all first team, got the most at-bats out of anybody on the team. And for this Jumbos lineup with a lot of question marks, he is definitely not one of them. Entering the season as likely one of the strongest hitters for the season. Runner goes. Solomon trying to get over to second. The throw is not in time as the ball is dropped by Zev Moore. So a stolen base to open up the season alongside a walk for Patrick Solomon, as now Jimmy Evans has a runner in scoring position for the Jumbos. The catcher Jake Sinandras, who has been starting a lot of games behind the dish, is in the DH hole today, so it does mean that Godfrey gets an opportunity. The 2-2 by Meyer, swung on and grounded foul. Evans battling here. Connor Bowman, the catcher, is on deck. The top of the lineup is very very consistent here for the Jumbos. It's when you get to some of these newer pieces at the bottom is where, you know, there are pieces where don't know too much about. Of course, all experienced limited playing time last season. The 2-2, Meyer deals, and Evans will let that one go down and in, apologies, as he will work a full count in his first at-bat of the season. Count is full with one out here in the bottom of the first. Evans will take ball 4. So runners in first and second as Connor Bowman, the catcher, will come to the plate. A good opportunity for the Jumbos to capitalize after a couple of defensive errors allowed a run to score for the Engineers. Connor Bowman, a captain, senior out of Wellesley, Massachusetts, put up a very solid number offensively last year, an 806 OPS, hitting .272 with 5 home runs and 27 RBIs. Now gets a chance to tack on a couple here to open up his senior season. Meyer deals, and that is in there for a strike. Kyle Meyer, in his one start last season, put up 7 2/3 innings pitched with 4 strikeouts and 1 earned run versus Springfield. Pitch is popped up to the shortstop, Zev Moore. He will settle under it and make the play. Runners will stay put, as that is the second out recorded here for the Jumbos. So Bowman unable to capitalize here with a runner in scoring position. And the Jumbos will leave their hope in on to their new lefty, Todd Stowicki. A very exciting player here for the Jumbos, a junior out of Chandler, Arizona. Didn't get much playing time throughout the first 2 years of his career at Tufts as he takes strike 1. You know, talking to some of the players of the Jumbos, they're pretty high on Stowicki, the big, tall lefty. Even with the higher fence that has been installed at Gittleman Park, looking to hopefully put up some good offensive numbers this season. Swinging at that off speed, quickly falling 0-2 in the count. And the Jumbos don't want to waste an opportunity here. Meyer deals for the 0-2. Swung on and missed. And Stowicki is down on strikes. MIT will retire the side without a run being given over, as the score is still MIT 1, Tufts 0, headed to the top of the second inning. Welcome back here to JumboCast, entering the top of the second inning at the inaugural game of the Tufts Jumbos. Score MIT 1, Tufts 0, as Cameron Mayer will deal his first pitch. The catcher, Tyle Godfrey, is up to bat, as that pitch is fouled away. Count is 1-1. Mayer will deal. Pitch upstairs. The count is now 2-1. The 2-1. Foul back. 2-2. Godfrey in 2 appearances so far this season, hit .286. In 7 at-bats is 2 for 7 in those appearances behind the dish. The 2-2 from Mayer is swung on and missed. So a quick strikeout here for Mayer, wanting to start off this second inning a little bit better than the first, as Godfrey will go down. Lawrence Tang, the freshman out of Hopkinton, Massachusetts, comes to bat. First-year Tang has gotten some pretty nice opportunities here for the Engineers and has appeared in a couple of games with 1 RBI being a sac fly. Pitch in there for a strike. Pitch is down and away, 2-1. We have a very special guest joining us for the broadcast. Very briefly, the technical director of Tufts JumboCast, Jordan Burke, joins us right now. Jordan, how are you doing today?
You know, I'm doing pretty all right. There's a baseball game going on, which is always a good time. A little unfortunate that it had to come to such an interesting start with 2 errors being committed in the top of the first inning by the Jumbos. Never love to see that as a hometown fan. But it seems like Cameron Mayer might just be dialed in the second time around.
Yeah. 2 quick outs, 2 quick strikeouts as Tang goes down. But Jordan, as a technical director, there's some new stuff on the screen here for JumboCast this time around. Of course, with the newly minted ballpark comes some newly minted upgrades for the broadcasting here for Tufts. Of course, the center field camera is always a pretty interesting thing to have.
Yeah, absolutely love the new equipment that we were able to get, courtesy of Tufts Athletics. Very appreciative of all that they've done to help us give you guys a better broadcast output.
That ball is quickly flown out into second base. Fleckner makes the play, and the right fielder Tubbs does go down. We can stay right here as we discuss some of the nice upgrades that we went through. Some nice newly minted cameras, a new scoreboard. I mean, overall, things look pretty nice over on the JumboCast side. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, feel free to leave some comments as to what you guys think about some of the new broadcast stuff that we have here, whether or not you guys like the angles, the new shots, the new scoreboard. Anything that you have feedback-wise, we always love to hear it.
Now, Jordan, we'll have you for a couple more minutes. We'll let you go to do back some of your directorial duties at the bottom of the second. But, I mean, you were the baseball chair last year, did a lot of work with some of the players here on this team. Some new faces. What are you expecting out of the Jumbos in 2023?
Well, in having some conversations with some of the players before the game today, everyone seems to have high hopes for Ben Leonard being in a starting role. When we had the opportunity to talk with Jackson Duffy, the center fielder, he said that the increase to the wall out in right field really hasn't been that much of a problem for them. Their lefty bats still have the same amount of power that has them that gives them the ability to hit the ball over the fence anyway. Really, the only person who's struggling a little bit with that adjustment is Jimmy Evans. Not the biggest of power bats, but you know, when he can hit 400 in any given season, you don't really care all that much. So Ben Leonard, a big name to be highlighted as to what he will have to deliver throughout the entire season. The bullpen also shaken up a bit, as well as the starting rotation. Silas Reed, who is one of those real solid anchors to come out of the bullpen in high-pressure situations, is actually now a starter for the Jumbos. So that'll be a little interesting to see how that plays out through the entire season as well.
Yeah, Silas Reed, really just incredible at, a strikeout artist in the bullpen for the past couple of years. Now making his way to the rotation. And speaking of people moving into the bullpen, Brendan McFall, who was a starter for the large portion of his career, now in a grad year, moving down into the relief position. Going to be a pretty exciting thing to see. Thank you very much for joining me, Jordan, for this brief little interlude here as we head to the bottom of the second between Tufts and MIT. The designated hitter, Clay Sowell, comes to the plate. So hit really, really well in 2021, hitting over 415 games with a very impressive 877 slugging percentage. made the NCAA fourth team, all NESCAC first team, but has struggled a little bit in the past couple of seasons. In 2022, only hit 208 with 3 home runs. So the contact not there as much. The strikeout rate definitely increased for him. Looking to bounce back, and that's going to be a good start as that ball is driven deep into left field, and it is over and gone. Clay Soul starting things off great for the Jumbos with a leadoff home run here in the second inning. And you love to see that if you are a Tufts Jumbos fan. Soul, of course, struggling pretty mightily at the start of 2022 and getting things off with a home run in his first at-bat of the season is exactly what you want to see. Going to need to be a big piece here for this Jumbos lineup if they want to have some success here in this season. And that home run ties the game up 1-1. So Jackson Duffy will now come to the plate in a tied game in the bottom of the second inning. The pitch from Meyer is upstairs. Jackson Duffy, center fielder, senior out of Braintree, Massachusetts, had a bit of a weaker offensive season in 2022, putting up only a .525 OPS, hitting .190 on the season. Had a really nice season as well in 2021. In a similar situation to Sal, looking to have a bounce back year in a much needed upgraded role. Of course, center field was occupied by Miles Reed for these past couple of seasons, a very, very strong player. And Duffy will look to try to mirror some of that level of experience as that pitch is fouled back for a 1-2 count. Downstairs, 2-2. Ozzie Fleischer, the shortstop, is on deck as that pitch hit the area around the hands for Duffy. And it looks like the umpire will give him a strike as it tapped the end of the bat. So, an unfortunate situation there for the center fielder of the Jumbos, as he will now be down 2-2 in his first at-bat of the season. Meyer deals on the 2-2. Pitch is downstairs, full count. Full count is grounded between third base and shortstop and in for a base hit. So Jackson Duffy and Clay Sowell starting things off nicely for the Jumbos with 2 consecutive hits, 1 homer, 1 single. And again, for some of these players who didn't have the best seasons in 2022, this is obviously a good sign for this team entering this new season. So now with a runner on, in comes the 8th batter in the Tufts lineup, Ozzie Fleischer. As that pitch is grounded, picked up by Meyer, looking to maybe go to second, but instead will go for the easy out at first. Fleischer is retired as Duffy will advance to second base. And so now a runner in scoring position here for the Jumbos as the 9-hitter Henry Fleckner comes to the plate. Fleckner in a big spot this year. Of course, second base was previously occupied by Kyle Cortez, who is a massive threat for this Jumbo team offensively. As Fleckner swings on the first pitch, grounded to third base. Tang will throw over. The ball is a bit short, but Cartwright's able to make the scoop as Duffy is unable to advance. So 2 outs off of 2 quick at-bats by the bottom of the Jumbo's order. As they'll work their way back around here to try to cap off this second on a high note, Ben Leonard will come back to bat. Lefty Leonard in. A pickoff move attempted at second base, as Duffy will get there in time. Jackson Duffy only with 1 steal in the 2022 season. Definitely a quick defender out there in the outfield, so maybe we'll look to be a little bit more aggressive on the base paths this time around. Pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1. Leonard, of course, started last season on the bench and ended up playing some really crucial role for the Jumbos in left field towards the end of their season. Started 2 of the 3 games in the NESCAC playoff run against Middlebury, where he went 2 for 6 with a home run in Game 2 of that series, the lone win for the Jumbos in the NESCAC postseason. Count is 1-2. Meyer has the opportunity to escape this with only 1 run allowed, as they can head into the 3rd with a tie game if Leonard is retired. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Patrick Solomon on deck, looking to hopefully capitalize if Leonard is able to get on base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, as that pitch is downstairs. So a full count here. Of course, Duffy will be unable to run because of the lack of a force out here at third base. Count is full. Meyer deals. The ball is upstairs, and Ben Leonard will work a walk in a very crucial situation. Was down 1-2 in the count, able to work things back around, and will be able to bring Patrick Solomon to the plate. So 2 runners on here for Patrick Solomon as he takes that first pitch that's in the dirt. Of course, the field here at Gittleman is all turf, but there is some sand built into the infield to give it some realistic scenario, to make it feel a little bit more like a regular old infield. You can see the sand particles emitted as that ball hit the dirt. 2-0 count to Solomon. It's a great contact hitter for the Jumbos last year, looking to get that ball in play here with 2 outs, 2 on. Pitch is swung on, lined softly to first base, and Cartwright will be able to grab it. So the Jumbos, off of a big home run by their designated hitter Clay Sowell, will be able to pick 1 up, but they leave 2 runners stranded as we end the bottom of the 2nd inning. Welcome back to JumboCast coverage of NCAA baseball. Jumbos opening up their regular season score 1-1 as we enter the top of the 3rd. MIT has batted their way around the order and head back to their leadoff man, Zev Moore. Entering today's matchup, Moore with a ridiculous 1.389 OPS in just 4 games, 18 at bats. As that pitch is grounded up the middle, going to be a tough play. Fleischer will pick it up, makes the quick throw over to Stoicki to make the first out of the 3rd. So as Mayer works his way back around the 2nd time of the rotation, looks like he may have found his stride a little bit here as has retired believe, 4 straight batters here in the combined second and third innings. Sinandres up to bat. Kyle Sinandres, we have to clarify, obviously, as both brothers are in the lineup today. That pitch is called in for a strike. He's had a bit of a slower start to the season, hitting 675 with a 675 OPS entering the year. The 2-1, or sorry, the 1-2 to Sinandres is upstairs, 2-2. And MIT's last matchup against UMass Boston on Thursday suffered a pretty hefty, unfortunate loss as that ball is sailed into the left field pole and is in there for a home run. I thought that ball was going foul, but it looks like Kyle Sinandres is going to get things started again here for the Engineers in the top of the third with a home run. First home run of the season here for Kyle Sinandres. Had 6 in 2022. And of course, with a bit of a slower start to open up this season, is nice to see him get onto the board with a really, really nice swing, sailing right over the left field fence. As that pitch is swung on and grounded to second, Fleckner makes the play, and Schoenfeld goes down. So the Engineers once again take the lead after Sowell did tie the score very briefly, albeit. Jake Sinandres fouls one back. There's a new net behind home plate and around the backstop area here for the Jumbos here at Saul Goodman Park. The car owners trying to come into watch some baseball are going to be very happy about that. A lot less balls will be flown out there into the parking lot. And it allows for us to be a little bit closer to the action. We are now standing pretty close behind home plate here in the broadcast booth. The broadcast table, should say. Of course, plans for our press box are in store eventually here, but will not be ready for the start of this season. And so we're looking for even more improvements to our broadcast setup in 2024. The 2-2 is swung on and missed. Strike 3 called Mayer will retire the side, but not without some damage being done. Sinandres hitting a home run in that top of the third will give them the lead as the Engineers are up 2-1 heading into the bottom of the third inning. We enter the bottom of the third inning here at Saul Goodman Park at on the campus of Tufts University in Medford, Massachusetts. The Jumbos trailing the MIT Engineers 2-1 after a home run from Kyle Sinandres gave MIT the lead once again in the third inning. Jimmy Evans, the 3-hitter, will enter and lead things off for the Jumbos here in the third frame. As Meyer first pitch is upstairs. Evans had a walk in his last at-bat, was unable to advance any further as the next two batters did go down to end the first inning. That ball's in there for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1 is downstairs. It'll be interesting to see what MIT decides to do with their bullpen situation today. Of course, in Meyer's last outing, while only allowing 2 runs, was only pitched 3 innings in that matchup that they did have. That ball's in there for strike 2. Some options could be looked at here for the Engineers, like Matthew Spencer. Graham Cartwright is a starter normally, but we have yet to see extended pitching time out of him. Chase Rubin, the freshman out of Arlington, Virginia. A lot of new faces for MIT in the bullpen have been doing good work so far for them. The count is 1-2 as Meyer will look to get things started well in this third inning for MIT. He faces the heart of the Jumbo's order for the second time. The 2-2. Swung on and missed in the dirt. Dropped third strike, but it looks like not going to be too difficult of a play for Godfrey as Evans will strike out in his first at-bat of the season. Second plate appearance, of course. With 1 out, Connor Bowman coming to the plate. Hit a weak fly ball to the shortstop Moore in his first at-bat of 2023. We'll take that pitch down and away for ball 1. The 1-0. Downstairs again. Don't believe we see any action in the MIT bullpen yet, so we might see Meyer out for an extended period of time here in his second start of the year. 3 pitches down in the zone will give a 3-0 count to Bowman. And he'll take ball 4. So a quick walk after a strikeout here for Meyer as the runner will come up for Todd Stowicki to try and capitalize. Stowicki standing at a tall 6'4", I believe the tallest position player on this Jumbo's lineup. Of course, there are some pitchers. Jack Edwards, the freshman, standing at a menacing 6'5". But apart from that, one of the bigger members of this lineup here for Tufts. Pitch is lined into center field. That is a base hit. Bowman will round second, stop right there, as Stowicki starts off his 2023 season with a strikeout and then a single. Nice piece of hitting right up the middle here for Todd Stowicki. Of course, going to have to be a big piece in this lineup. Connor Flavin, the captain, senior captain, is currently unavailable due to injury. But now there's 2 runners on, and the man of the second inning, Clay Sowell, comes to the plate. Had a home run on the second pitch of his first at-bat back in the second inning as he takes strike 1 with 2 runners on.
Hey, keep battling, Carl. Doing great. Take ground ball.
Count is 0-1. You can see the infield in double play depth as Sowell will swing on that one. Breaking ball down and away. And so already a big advantage here for Meyer in the second time around against Sowell. Count 0-2. Meyer deals. Pitches swung on and missed. Another off speed by Meyer will get Sowell down and out here in this third inning. So 2 strikeouts here in the third alongside a walk and a single here for Carl Meyer. As now Jackson Duffy will try to capitalize with 2 runners on. Pitches down in the dirt for ball one. Duffy had a single back in the second inning. Was unable to score as two groundouts ended, and a lineout, sorry, by Patrick Solomon ended that frame. Pitch down again for ball two. Already deals. Nice hanging pitch in there for a strike. The off speed working well for Meyer here in his second appearance. The 2-1. Swung on and drilled deep to left field. And that one is gone as well. A 3-run blast for Jackson Duffy. And some pieces for the Jumbos that struggled a little bit in 2022 coming out huge to open up 2023. Sowell and Duffy go yard in back-to-back innings as the Jumbos lead 4-2. You can see the power out of this Jumbos lineup. If things click right for them, they are going to be a menacing offense top to bottom in the lineup. And one of their strongest hitters from 2022, Ozzie Fleischer, comes to the plate here in the 8-hole. Will try to lay down a bunt and will send it back against the net. Fleischer hit .354 with a .901 OPS last season, 45 hits, 9 doubles, 2 triples with 18 RBIs and 7 stolen bases. He's a really great contact hitter, able to get the ball in play. Perhaps Coach Svagdis wanted to extend the lineup a little bit by having Fleischer down here a little bit later on in the rotation. As Fleischer is quickly down to the count 0-2, Meyer will deal. Fouled back. Fouled back. Fleischer not one to strike out, to go down on strikes. Only 5 strikeouts in 127 at-bats in 2022. Had 16 walks as well, as that pitch is grounded and through almost, but it will not be able to be recovered here by the second baseman, Sonandres. So Ozzie Fleischer on, I believe that will be ruled as a hit, as that was a very difficult play for Kyle Sonandres to try and make. And now with the runner on, Henry Fleckner coming to the plate. Looks like the MIT coaching staff will come out and have a bit of a talk with Meyer. And that is going to be it for the junior. So 4 runs allowed here for Carl Meyer on his second appearance of the season, off of 2 pretty big home runs out of Clay Sowell and Jackson Duffy. And in comes some new blood for the Engineers. We'll be right back. Welcome back to JumboCast coverage of Division III men's baseball. Sahlgrenman Park, things have been going a bit wild to open up the season for the Tufts Jumbos. 3 home runs in 3 innings across both teams as a 3-run shot by Jackson Duffy sent the Jumbos up 4-2 and sent the starter for MIT, Carl Meyer, out of the ballgame. Entering in relief, the freshman Chase Rubin out of Arlington, Virginia, will step up in relief as the first pitch to Fleckner is down and away. Rubin in 1 appearance had a scoreless 3 innings pitched with 2 strikeouts. Did allow contact but was able to work out of jams. Had a .364 batting average against in that appearance. But we'll look to, hopefully for the Engineers, clean things up a little bit, allow for a little bit less contact and more outs being recorded as he'll get Fleckner and then the top of the Jumbos lineup. The 2-0 in there for a strike right around the letters. Pickoff move attempted. Fleischer definitely a threat on the base paths. Who's sitting on first base. 7 stolen bases, 3 times was caught. So definitely somebody that the Engineers will want to look at. The pitch is lined straight into center field. The center fielder is unable to get to it, and that's going to go for extra bases. Fleischer is going to round third, and it looks like Fleckner will stand up on second base. A double RBI for the side of Henry Fleckner. The Jumbos will go up 5-2. Schoenfeld unable to get to that one as it rolled away into the fence in left center field. As a nice start for the Jumbos, Henry Fleckner with a huge hit. And again, it's kind of everybody on the Jumbos doing their job so far in this game. So another run is recorded for them. And that works the Jumbos back to the top of their lineup in just for the 3rd time in the 3rd inning. And in just 2 times around the order, every member of the Jumbos has reached base at least once. So really good start offensively. Of course, with some big pieces leaving the program entering 2023. There was hope, but needed to see some results here. And so certainly the Jumbos are delivering here in this first game, with everybody participating to get them a 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. Rubin deals. Pitch is popped up in play. Bit of a scramble to get to it, and it will be made by Cartwright to end the 3rd inning. So, unfortunately for Meyer, another run tacked on to his scoreline as a RBI double from Henry Fleckner alongside a big home run from Jackson Duffy will get 4 runs on the board for the Jumbos here in the bottom of the 3rd. They lead 5-2 as we are 1/3 of the way through this first game of the season. We enter the top of the 4th inning here at Saul Goodman Field on the campus of Tufts University. Cameron Mayer out for his 4th inning of work in his debut start for the Tufts Jumbos of 2023. Graham Cartwright, the first baseman, up to bat. As Mayer deals upstairs for ball 2. Inside for ball 3. Cartwright also serves as a starting pitcher in the MIT rotation. Had 8 starts in 2022 as he fouls that one back for strike 2. But his first outing on opening day was not great. Allowed 5 earned runs in just 1 1/3 innings, giving up a .556 batting average against. So was getting hit pretty hard as he will get jammed there on that 3-2 count, sending that ball foul. Cameron Mayer has had a solid start apart from 1 home run given up to San Andres. And of course, some defensive mishaps gave him another run on the board in the first. The 3-2. Oh, hit him. That's going to be a... I don't know if it hit his head or not, but Cartwright is down. Hope everything is all right. Cartwright a little slow to get up, but will make his way over to first base. Or maybe back to the dugout. Hopefully things are alright. That ball was pretty up and in there. It looks like play will be stopped momentarily. We'll be right back. So the situation seems right now that Cartwright, of course, getting hit by that pitch, a bit shaken up after the play. The rule is that MIT gets 10 minutes to make a decision on whether Cartwright is able to continue playing or maybe be subbed out, as I believe this does fall under the banner of concussion protocol. So hope everything is all right. We're going to step aside. We will return as soon as we have a little bit more information. Welcome back, everybody. Of course, a bit of a scary situation. Graham Cartwright did get hit in the upper body area with a pitch from Cameron Mayer. They will send in a pinch runner, Philip Hood. They have ruled it to be a temporary pinch runner, as MIT will await the decision of what to do with Cartwright. Hopefully everything is all right. A very scary situation, of course. Not how you want to start the season off for either team. But it looks like play will continue here in the top of the 4th inning. MIT still down 5-2. As Aton Moore flies one back and into foul territory. Count is 0-2. Mayer deals. Pitches upstairs, 1-2. Runner thought about going as the pitch is lined into left field for a base hit. So a single for Aton Moore. MIT has 2 runners on with none out in the top of the 4th. Tyler Godfrey will come to the plate, struck out in his first appearance of the day. And looks like a bunt will be had here by Godfrey. Mayer's going to make the easy play at first, but the job has been done. Both runners do advance.
Hey, here we go, Lawrence.
And so second and third now is the situation with 1 away, as Lawrence Tang has a big opportunity for the Engineers to try and get themselves back into this game. Tang struck out in the 2nd inning, first time around. Has come up in situations for MIT so far this season. The freshman did have a sacrifice fly in one of their appearances. And we'll have a good opportunity here. The pitch is just outside for ball 1. The 1-0. 1-1. Pitch is swung on and missed. Count 1-2 with the 1 away here in the 4th inning. No action in the Jumbo's bullpen just yet, although Mayer and the rest of the Jumbo's pitching staff will be on pitch counts to open up the season, just to make sure that they are able to stay nice and healthy throughout the year. The 1-2, grounded and picked up here by Mayer. Is going to try to make the play at the plate. Bowman is unable to get the tag down in time, and that is a run scored for MIT, and Mayer is now down. I believe fell awkwardly on that throw back to the plate. Trainers will come out to check. Grabbing onto that shoulder. Coaching staff looking to check on him. Of course, Cameron Mayer, one that's is slotted to be one of the star pitchers for this Tufts Jumbos lineup. Hopefully everything is all right after a bit of an awkward throw back home off of that ground ball. And just a precautionary measure, it seems there is action in the Tufts bullpen right now. And it looks like Mayer will try to throw some pitches over to make sure that he's all right. As Jack Schwartz, the captain, senior, out of Wayland, Massachusetts, is ready if Mayer deems himself unable to continue here in this game. Maybe the Jumbos would want to play it a bit safe with the season just getting underway, of course. Don't want to accidentally aggravate anything in addition in just Mayer's first start. But it looks like he is all right. The coaches will return to the dugout, and play will continue with Cameron Mayer on the bump. The 9-hitter here for the Engineers, Reed Tubbs, comes to the plate. That is ruled a fielder's choice, I believe, for Tang, as a runner will score here. And so now Mayer faces first and third, one away. Pitches down and away for ball one. Pitches in there for a strike. Tubbs has struggled so far here in his collegiate career. Hit 177 in his freshman season and is 1 for 9 so far in the limited time that he has been in the lineup here for the Engineers so far as he takes strike two. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and fouled back. So Tang will be forced back to first base. Five to 3 here. The Jumbos lead the MIT Engineers. An offense-packed start to the season here for Tufts, as Mayer will deal just down and away. Count is 2-2. Tang was on the move, will stay put this time around as that ball is grounded to Solomon. Will try to make the play at second, and there is no play at first base. So Tubbs does his job, gets a run in on a fielder's choice that retires Tang. And the game is suddenly, once again, very, very close, 5-4, as another run will come through. And importantly, that brings the top of the lineup back up. Zev Moore is at the plate. Pitches upstairs. Zev Moore and Eitan Moore, both new players to this MIT roster, both out of Jerusalem, Israel, played on the U23 national team this summer, helped them qualify for the EU National Championship qualifiers. Pretty exciting stuff. Both of these players did get D1 opportunities, elected to come here, citing academic pursuits in addition to their athletic careers. And both brothers starting off pretty well in their rookie season, their freshman year at MIT. Runner goes, pitches upstairs. The throw by Bowman is not in time as Fleischer is unable to control it. Sorry, that was Fleckner trying to make that play at second base. And so another runner in scoring position with the count 3-0 in the top of the fourth. Mayer deals, and the pitch is inside. So Moore will work a walk. Runners on first and second. And that brings Kyle Sinandras back to the plate. Had a home run in the third inning, and now has another opportunity with 2 runners on. And it looks like that's going to be it for Cameron Mayer. 4 earned runs. Not actually 100% sure if some of those runs were earned, as there were 2 Jumbos errors in the first inning. But that is going to be it for his first outing. 3 2/3 innings recorded with 4 runs on the board for MIT. As a new face comes to the mound here for the Jumbos, Jack Schwartz will take over after this. welcome you back to JumboCast coverage of Division III baseball. Jumbo's home opener, season opener, I should say, off to a very explosive start. Score 5-4. Jack Schwartz, the senior captain out of Wayland, Massachusetts, comes in to relieve Cameron Mayer after 3 2/3 innings of work. And he'll have a tough task ahead of him. 2 outs, 2 runners on, and Kyle Sinandris at the plate. Sinandris to a very hot start today here for MIT. A single and a home run in his first 2 plate appearances. That's quickly the count 2-0. Pretty advantageous spot here for the Engineers. They can look to either tie, take the lead here in this 4th inning. And that pitch is swung on and lined into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Leonard will retrieve it, rounding third, and will score. Is MIT's number 7 Reed Tubbs. So another RBI, this time a single here for Kyle Sinandris, as MIT have tied the game once again, 5-5 here in the 4th. So an offensive masterclass here for Kyle Sinandris. That is his 3rd hit in 3 at-bats. As still 2 runners on, Jumbo's trying to escape this inning without giving up the lead. Teddy Schoenfeld at the dish. Pitch is grounded foul. Schoenfeld so far today has a walk and a ground out, as MIT has made their way around the order for the 3rd time. Sun starting to set here in Medford. It's a bit of a chilly day to open up the season. So if you're watching from home, perhaps a little bit more comfortable than us here at Gittleman. Pitch is swung on and missed, count 1-2. As Schwartz will look to escape this pretty rough top of the 4th inning. 3 runs already allowed and could be way more with 2 runners still on. Schwartz sets and deals on the 1-2. Upstairs, ball 2. Two is skied into center field. Duffy will go back and will make the play for the 3rd out. So a high fly ball by Schoenfeld will end the 4th, but not before some crucial damage was done. 3 runs earned there by MIT in the top of the 4th inning. They have tied the score up once again at 5 as we enter the bottom of the 4th inning. We enter the bottom of the 4th here. Entering the bottom of the 4th at Gittleman Park, the Jumbos looking to take the lead once more, as 7 runs were earned in the last 2 half innings of play, 4 for the Jumbos, 3 for the MIT Engineers, leaving the score tied at 5, as we are well underway here in this first game at the newly minted Tufts home ballpark. The Jumbos will have the heart of their order up. It goes Solomon, Evans, and then Bowman. First pitch, ball 1. As Solomon swings and skies it high in the air. Moore is there to make the play, and there's one away. So with one away here in the bottom of the fourth, Jumbos bring Jimmy Evans to the plate. Evans with a walk and a strikeout in his first 2 plate appearances of the season. Will ground that one foul, 0-1. Evans effective last season in basically all senses. The NESCAC first team outfielder, of course hitting high for average at 330, had a 412 on base percentage, and also hit 6 home runs and 11 doubles, so the power also there. Of course, as we heard from Jordan Burke a little bit earlier, Evans, the lefty, struggling maybe a little bit with getting some balls over the fence this time around with the newly raised fence in right field, as he'll take that one upstairs for ball 2, but Jumbos are hopeful that Evans, of course, can be an offensive staple in their lineup for 2023. Count is 2-1. As Evans will pop that one up into foul territory. Chase Rubin still in the game for his second inning of work, for his full inning of work, as Evans hits a fly ball into center field. It's going pretty deep, actually, and that is over. The not a whole lot of reaction there, as that ball was looking like it was going to land in, or no, I apologize. Play was made in center field. Evans rounded the bases. It appeared like he was going all the way around, as I thought I lost the ball for a second. As that next at-bat here for Bowman is grounded through the third baseline all the way down. Bowman's going to try to go to second, and he will get there. The throw from Moore not in time. So apologies on that botched call there, as it will just be a flyout for Jimmy Evans, but a much better result for Connor Bowman in his third plate appearance. Will get himself a double with 2 away. So Stowicki will now come to the plate with a chance once again to get some runs on the board for the Jumbos. Had a single in his last at-bat, struck out in the first. Now has another opportunity. Pitches down. The 1-0. Swung on, skied into center field. Schoenfeld will settle under it and make the play to end the 4th inning. So 1 hit, but no runs allowed as they leave Bowman stranded at second base. Score still tied at 5 as we head into the 5th inning of the Tufts Jumbos opening the game. A new pitching change here for the Jumbos. Connor Pedezwa making his way into the game in a relief appearance. was listed as a potential starter here for the Jumbos, but will actually get an opportunity here in relief after Mayer had maybe a bit of a shorter outing than originally expected. A quick disclaimer as we enter the top of the 5th, we are working with a bit of an undermanned crew today, as of course a recently rescheduled game of course meant that there were some changes that had to be made to the way that this game was broadcasted. So the scoreboard might not be fully updated continuously. We will try our best to keep you updated as we are working to currently replace the battery on our center field camera. We will be back the scoreboard will be back as soon as possible. Of course, our cameraman Max Antonini still working brilliantly up there in the stands. So we'll be able to get you the action from, albeit a bit of a different situation, at least for just the top of this 5th. And again, we'll try to resolve this issue as soon as possible. Some growing pains here at JumboCast. We appreciate you all staying with us as we are entering the top of the 5th inning. Jake Sanandres at the plate. Pedezwa's first pitch of the season is away for a ball. Pitch was actually in there for a strike, and so was that second one. So count 0-2. Jake Sanandres 0 for 2 on the day. Had reached on an error in the first inning and struck out in the third. That pitch is down and away for a ball. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Sanandres back and down on strikes. And a welcome sign here for Engineer fans. Graham Cartwright, who of course had a bit of a frightening incident a little bit earlier in the 4th inning, was hit by a pitch, re-entering the game. So things seem to be all right with him as he takes that first pitch for a ball. Pedezwa had a very productive season on the mound in 2022. His freshman year, 5 games started, a 3.2 ERA, in addition to 4 relief appearances. Ended with a 5-2 record in 39.1 innings pitched. 34 strikeouts, only 7 walks allowed as well, as he looks to be another important addition to this Jumbo pitching staff. Also able to play a little bit of third base, so you'll see him in the lineup from time to time when in situations, of course, where Patrick Solomon potentially needs a day off. Count is 3-1 with 1 away here in the top of the 5th, as Cartwright sends that one back for a foul ball. Full count. The batter steps out. That is in there for a base hit into left field. Leonard will be able to grab that one, keeping Cartwright at first base. So first hit of the game here for Graham Cartwright, re-entering here in this 5th inning. Gets a runner on with 1 away. Oh, apologies. That ball was caught in left field by Leonard. So there are now 2 outs. Eitan Moore makes his way to the plate, takes strike 1, count 1-1 with 2 away. Pitch is fouled back. And a swing and a miss. Pedezwa sends them down in order, 1, 2, 3. As 2 strikeouts here in his first inning of work will send the Engineers back into the field halfway through this first game as we enter the bottom of the 5th. Score still 5-5. Entering the bottom of the 5th inning, Tufts taking on MIT in their first game of the 2023 season. Score tied at 5. Clay Sowell skies one foul to open up the inning. Chase Rubin still on the mound here for the Engineers. Has quieted the offense a little bit for the Jumbos as that one is swung on and missed for strike 2. So we'll hit that home run in the 2nd inning to open things up for the Jumbos in the scoring department. The 0-2 down and in the dirt. The 1-2 grounded softly to third base. Tang is going to have to make a running play and is unable to get the throw over in time. So it'll be a leadoff single for Seoul as there'll be a runner on. Bit of a double pump there by Tang as he lost his balance a little bit on that soft grounder down the third base line. Was unable to make the play and will leave a runner on base with Jackson Duffy coming to the plate. Duffy, of course, hitting that very crucial 3-run home run back in the 3rd inning. As they'll check Seoul at first base. Seoul with 2 stolen bases in 2022. So definitely able to work his way around the base paths if needed. Rubin deals, and Duffy will take strike 1. They continue to check Seoul at first base to make sure that no shenanigans are to be had here in the bottom of the 5th. Rubin delivers, pitches up, count 1-1. Pitch, runner goes. As it was a hit and run situation, Duffy pops that one up into foul territory. So Seoul will head back to first. Count now 1-2 to Jackson Duffy, looking to continue his strong first game of the season. Already has a single and a home run in his first 2 at-bats. Taking that pitch outside for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, no one retired in the bottom of the 5th. As Ruben will once again check Soul, who did try to go, as Duffy attempted a hit and run a little bit earlier on in this at-bat. They continue to check back at first base. Runner goes again, pitch is swung on and missed, but the ball was dropped there by the catcher Godfrey. So because of that, it allows for Soul to get over to second base. Has a runner in scoring position now for the Jumbos with 1 away. Ozzie Fleischer coming to the plate. Pitch by Ruben is in there for strike 1. Fleischer had a single back in the 3rd inning and a pop-up in the 2nd. Pitches upstairs for ball 1. Ruben deals, pitch is barely inside. MIT wanted that call. Godfrey looking for a potential strike call there. Umpire not going to give it to him. Instead, advantageous count here for Fleischer, 2-1 with 1 away. Runner on second base here in the bottom of the 5th. Ruben deals, pitch is swung on, popped up into right field. It looks like Tubbs will settle under it and make the throw over to third to prevent Soul from moving over. So Fleischer retired there on that fly ball. Means 2 outs here for Henry Fleckner. Very similar situation to his last plate appearance in the 3rd inning, where he came up clutch with an RBI double, giving the Jumbos their 5th run of the game back in the 3rd inning. And another big spot for him here in the 5th. Ruben deals. Ball is swung on and popped up. Looks like it will be settled under and caught by the second baseman Sanandres. So unable to convert on a runner in scoring position are the Jumbos as Fleckner pops up to end the inning. So the score remains 5-5. We started off pretty explosive on the offensive end. We have been met by 3 scoreless half frames. Heading into the 6th inning, score still 5-5. Top of the 6th inning here at Gittleman Park. The Jumbos and Engineers of MIT are tied at 5. As Connor Pedeswa remaining in the game here for the Jumbos on the mound. Catcher Tyler Godfrey is up to bat once again. Pitch is fouled back, count 0-2. Godfrey had a sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning. Allowed for some runners to move over, and what was a very, very productive 4th for MIT, and he's going to continue his good day with a grounder up the middle for a base hit. So Tyler Godfrey, the backup catcher here for MIT, start having a pretty productive day. So runner on with Lawrence Tang coming to the plate. This is the bottom of the MIT order. If they're able to capitalize here, will be a very good opportunity for them to get some more runs on the board, potentially take the lead. Pedeswa deals. Tang shows bunt. Unable to connect on that one, so will be called for a strike. They're checking Godfrey pretty heavily at first base. Has not recorded a steal just yet, but of course, just the start of the season for MIT. This is their 5th game. And the Engineers have been aggressive on the base paths so far. Pedeswa deals 0-1 to Tang. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Pedeswa in the stretch. Will deal. Pitch is swung on and missed. Tang down on strikes. And the first out of the 6th inning has been recorded by Connor Pedeswa. And so Reed Tubbs will come to the plate. They runner on first and 1 away. Tubbs reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th inning, was able to come all the way back around to score on that RBI single by Kyle Sinandris. Would be a good opportunity for MIT to flip the order around if Tubbs is able to get on base once again. Runner goes. Pitch is in there. The throw is very much in time, as Connor Bowman will have none of that on the base path for MIT. A quick caught stealing once again, as Godfrey will head back to the bench. So it was a good situation for MIT, now suddenly looking a little bit harder for them to try and capitalize here, as they are, they started off with a runner on and nobody out, and now have no runners on with 2 outs. The 3-0 count to Tubbs. Pedeswa deals, pitches upstairs, and so another base runner does get on board, but at the cost of Godfrey getting caught on the base paths. That is the 2nd caught stealing for Connor Bowman today to open up this season. I mean, he has just been very, very good on the defensive end for his entire career. Was getting playing time, of course, with an abundance of really solid catchers like Clay Sowell and previously Ryan Noon also on the team. Just due to that defensive effort, of course, has had some really nice moments with the bat as well, including that double a little bit earlier in this game in the 4th inning. Continues to be a really important piece for this Jumbos lineup. And they're now checking Tubbs at first base, as he was able to work that walk. MIT has worked their way back around the order for the 4th time. Zev Moore looking to try and give MIT the lead. It's had a very, very productive season so far, looking to continue that here. Pedezwa from that low stretch will deal the 1-0 upstairs. One. Pitch is popped up. Fleckner will settle under it to make the play as a couple of base runners quickly dealt with by Connor Pedezwa as he gets out of a very nice situation here in the 6th inning. As the score remains 5-5, entering the bottom of the frame. Welcome back to JumboCast. We are joined by a special guest as we're in the middle of the 6th inning for a segment on JumboCast we like to call the 6th inning showdown. I'm joined by Ethan Ito, current director of the game, and business manager here at JumboCast as well. As we'll keep things updated here. Hold on, got a fly ball into right field, as it will be recovered here by the center fielder Schoenfeld. As the Jumbos are at the top of the lineup, Ben Leonard has retired. So Ethan, here on the 6th inning showdown, we do a little game with the logos of these two teams. The Tufts Jumbos, of course, are the elephant. The MIT logo, of course, while being the Engineers, or actually the Beavers here, as Patrick Solomon will take one outside for ball 1. Now the situation here is, of course, these two teams are battling here on the baseball diamond, but if these mascots went at it, how many Beavers do you think it would take to take down a Jumbo?
That's a pretty interesting question, Andrew. You have to think. Well, obviously the elephant's a lot bigger than a beaver, but you would think that the beavers are pretty capable. They're nature's engineers. They know how to build. They know how to use their tools a little bit. So I don't know the relative sizes of these animals too well, but I would say at least 5.
You think only 5? Because the elephant, a Jumbo, we see the statue of Jumbo, of course, on the academic quad. It's a pretty large animal.
Oh, no, I said at least 5.
So
this is a broad range
so
here.
Probably more is what you're saying.
Yeah, no, you're right. It'd take a good amount of beavers to take an elephant down because they got some thick skin too.
Strike 2 called here on Patrick Solomon. Now, I think it's a little bit more than that. Well, of course, the Beavers will be able to build, kind of a nice defensive wall with the dam capabilities that they have. The elephant would probably just be able to step over it, So I think they would have to. It wouldn't be defense here for the Beavers. It would probably be more offensive power. I think you would need a large swarm of them potentially. Pitch is fouled back. Count still 2-2 with 1 away.
That's true. Thinking about it again, the elephant can probably just get through whatever walls or dams the beavers build. How do you think the beavers would get at the elephant, though? Because they're not particularly tall. The elephant's obviously a lot bigger.
Yeah, it would have to be, again, like kind of a swarm situation where, some of those beavers on the front lines, like, they know that they're not going to make it all the way to do some real damage. It's kind of just to... I think you're looking at a number in the hundreds here, as that pitch is lined foul by Solomon. Now the other question here, of course, we're thinking about the Beavers, but of course the title is Engineers. When you're thinking about how many Engineers could take down a Jumbo, I'm thinking the number is probably just around 1 due to some of the potential capabilities that they have. Pitch is skied into center field. Schoenfeld not going to take that. Instead, it will be the second baseman once again, Sinandras, here to record the second out of the inning. I mean, there was the experiment with Nikola Tesla and an elephant, and that, of course, went in favor of the engineer in that situation.
Yeah, no. Well, we have to consider what resources the engineer has. But assuming that you give the engineer whatever they want, I'd assume you only need one engineer to take down an elephant.
If you think our counts are incorrect in any way, let us know in the comments below. Thank you, Ethan, for joining us for this 6th inning showdown on JumboCast.
Hey, thank you very much.
2 outs recorded here by Chase Rubin, who is having himself a very, very effective day on the mound as he works a ground ball to second base. Sinandras is there, and that will end the inning here for MIT. Pace has picked up a little bit. We've 2 straight scoreless innings on both sides. Score still remaining tied at 5 as we enter the 7th between Tufts and MIT. Six innings of play have concluded here at Saul Goodman Park. We are entering the 7th between Tufts and MIT. First pitch to Sinandras is upstairs. Kyle Sinandras having a fantastic day at the plate so far. He's 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a home run. Responsible for a lot of the scoring so far for the Engineers. Did get caught stealing one time in that first inning. The 1-1, Pedezwa deals. That ball is popped up into left field. Leonard will settle under to record the first out of the inning. So Pedezwa, of course, listed as a potential starter in the future for the Jumbos, making his way onto the mound in relief and has done very good work so far. First pitch to Teddy Schoenfeld is down for ball 1. Ball 2 has been recorded. Pitch is skied back, so of course there were some conversations we were having as members of JumboCast as to how this new fence and the new netting behind home plate would have affected things. It seems so far there still are balls getting over the netting in foul territory, but in terms of, you know, shots hit right back into the backstop, maybe endangering some fans, it seems like that has been reduced pretty significantly, as we've seen some balls go pretty far up, but into the netting. Would have normally maybe come towards us in a way. Nice play at second base. Fleckner will make the throw over as well, as a hard hit ground ball by Schoenfeld will be picked up by the new Tufts second baseman. Really nice play. Of course, Fleckner had a little bit of playing time in his freshman season. Only went 1 for 8 in 8 at-bats with a hit and 2 stolen bases, but was used as both a defensive replacement and primarily, actually, a pinch runner for the Jumbos last year. We'll see how aggressive he ends up being on the base pass, especially if we get later on into this game, as that pitch is grounded just foul. Solomon dove to try and make a play. Fortunately for the Jumbos, will not result in crossing over that plane. It would have been extra bases for sure if St. Andrews was able to get that one into fair territory. Jake St. Andrews is 0 for 3 today with a reach down error and 2 strikeouts. Pedezwa deals. Swung on, skied into left field, but right under it is Leonard, who made 2 of the 3 outs for the Jumbos here in the 7th. It's time to stretch here in Saul Goodman Park. Score still 5-5 as we head to the bottom of the 7th frame. It's the bottom of the 7th inning here. Saul Goodman Park. Tufts tied with MIT, and what originally started off to be a very offense-heavy game. Both sides on the pitching end have settled down a little bit, and MIT, led by Chase Rubin on the mound, looking to make it a 3rd straight scoreless frame. Jumbos will go 4, 5, 6 in their order. It will be Bowman, Stowicki, and then Sowell, as the catcher, Connor Bowman, takes one down in the dirt, count 2-1. Bowman with a walk and a double on top of a fly out to the shortstop in the 1st inning. And we'll send one into foul territory. A towering shot, hit the top of the dugout there. You know, in previous years, that is where the JumboCast camera people would stand. And so, luckily for us, we have moved locations, and that ball from Bowman did not affect us either way. Pitch caught looking is Bowman, and he will go down on strikes to open up the bottom of the 7th frame. So with one away, Rubin, who has, again, had a very fantastic day on the mound, will deal to Todd Stowicki, who fouls one back for strike 1. Stowicki 1 for 3 on the day, on the season. Flew out to center field to end the 4th. Rubin now with 3 innings of scoreless work. Of course, a run did come in off of a single that was allowed in one of his first batter's face, but since that runner was put on by Meyer, the earned run does go to him instead. Pitch is swung on and missed, count 2-2. So Chase Rubin continues 6 straight innings now of scoreless pitching for the Engineers, as he gets to Wiki swinging there on strike 3 for his 2nd consecutive strikeout. That is now 8 straight batters retired here by Chase Rubin, who has proven to be a very, very valuable piece in this MIT bullpen as a freshman early on into the 2023 season. 2 away now, the Jumbos will bring Clay Sowell to the plate. Of course, had that home run in that first inning alongside a soft infield single in the 5th, his last time up. Rubin deals. In there, first strike. Two and one. Sowell struggled a little bit with tracking the ball his last year in 2022. Struck out 26 out of the 53 at-bats that he had in the season. Did have a decent amount of walks. Also got hit by a bunch of pitches actually in 2022. So the on-base percentage is pretty good. Is very good actually, sitting at 391. The batting average at 208, definitely not where Sowell wants to be. Hoping to get off right. Already has a home run in the first game of the year as he swings on this pitch. 3-1 fouled back, making it a full count with 2 away. The 3-2. Up nearly at the letters as Sowell thought he had it in for a walk, but Chase Rubin strikes out the side. 9 straight batters gone down here for the freshman pitcher. And the 7th inning once again scoreless here for the Jumbos. Score still 5-5 as we head into the 8th. Hey, you're back. To the top of the 8th we go here. Tufts and MIT locked in a dead heat here late into this ball game. 5-5 has been the score for a long time, and that might change quickly. That ball is launched into left field, and it is way out and gone. A home run for Graham Cartwright will give MIT the lead, 6-5. And what has been a very, very, very low-scoring last couple of innings will end right here as Cartwright coming out huge here with a home run to give MIT the lead. And so Pedezwa's first blemish of the game here as He has now given up the lead. Now maybe the pitcher of record if Tufts is unable to turn things around in these next couple of innings. Aton Moore takes one down. 1-1. The off-speed from Podeswa gets him into the dirt. And quickly Moore is down 1-2. Cartwright, with only one home run in 2022, already has 2 on the season this time around. Check swing here by Moore. Did not go on that one, as that ball was very, very down in the dirt. Podeswa deals. Moore swings and misses for strike 3. And so a home run allowed, and then a strikeout to open up the 8th inning for Connor Podeswa. As that ball hits the helmet of Godfrey. And already an unideal start to this 8th inning for the Jumbos and for Podeswa. As a runner will come up on to first base for Tang and Tubbs to try and capitalize on. Jumbo's looking to keep this lead at 1 if possible. They have the bottom of their lineup for the 8th with Duffy, Fleischer, and Fleckner. Godfrey, of course, got caught stealing by Connor Bowman back in the 6th inning. Seems like they're still pretty hesitant to allow him to get too far off the base pass. That ball is swung on in the gap for a base hit. Godfrey will stop at second base as Leonard gets the ball in. Another single here as the first hit, I believe, of his MIT career for Lawrence Tang. So Reed Tubbs comes to the plate with a chance to extend this Engineer lead with the top of the lineup coming up right after. Podeswa deals. Pitch just down and in for ball 1. Tubbs with a walk his last time up in the 6th, as well as reaching on at fielder's choice, which allowed him to score as well. The 1-0, just inside again. Podeswa unable to get those calls on the inside part of the zone. He'll yield a 2-0 count to the 9-hitter Tubbs. Pitch is just down again, 3-0. Connor Bowman getting a little point in onto Podeswa just to let him know that he's doing a good job. Pitches seem to be around the area where they're looking for. It's just Tubbs is just not biting on maybe swinging at some pitches that are obviously unideal, as 3 straight balls have come in. There's a strike, 3-1. And if Tubbs is able to get on, this is a really good opportunity here for the Engineers. There will be the bases will be loaded in that situation with only 1 out. Of course, with Zev Moore and the rest of the top of the lineup for the Engineers coming to the plate. Swung on and popped up foul. So we'll have a full count. Runners on first and second. Tang at first. Godfrey at second. And the pitch. Foul ball again. Tubbs getting onto the ball, just unable to straighten that out just yet. Was a bit early on that off-speed pitch. A big at-bat here for the Jumbos. Of course, they trail now 6-5. Pedeswa deals. Foul back again. And what could be a very, very important at bat. The 9-hitter here for MIT, holding strong with a full count with one away. The pitch. Grounded foul again. So what is to be the 8th pitch of this at bat upcoming has been a very, very interesting battle to watch between these two players. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 away here in the top of the 8th inning. Tufts trying to hold this lead at 1. The pitch. In there for strike 3. And Tufts knew it. 2 down now with runners on first and second. Zev Moore coming to the plate. And what is a very, very important at-bat here for the freshman of MIT. Pedeswa looking to escape with only that 1 home run allowed. What has otherwise been a very productive outing. Pitch is in there for a strike. Moore is 1 for 3 with a walk. Had a single in the first inning. Pedeswa. Foul ball. So Moore down in the count now, 0-2. Has been able, of course, had that walk in the second inning, has been able to work out of situations like this in the past. We'll try to escape a bit of a jam here. Pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Drop their strike. Bowman goes over to first, and Sawicki will be there to make the play. But the damage was done by MIT. A home run by Cartwright sends MIT up 6-5. We're going to head to the bottom of the 8th. Jumbos have 2 more chances to try and tie this game up and potentially end this one here with a win. Back here in the bottom of the 8th inning, as the Jumbos will have 6 outs to try and catch up to the MIT Engineers. The home run by Graham Cartwright in the top of the 8th sent MIT up by 1. They now lead 6-5 as a new pitcher has come in. Ethan Siegel, the sophomore out of Austin, Texas, will come in to try and clean up this 8th inning in the bottom of the Tufts lineup. They will have Jackson Duffy, Ozzie Fleischer, and Henry Fleckner to try and get some offensive momentum going in what has otherwise been a very quiet past couple of innings. It is 4 straight scoreless frames for Tufts. They have been unable to break some of the relievers that have come through. Of course, Chase Rubin with a very, very successful outing once again. I believe it is now 6 2/3 scoreless innings for the freshman to start off his career. Sun is setting here. Of course, could have been a bit of a problem at the previous iterations of Huskins Field, home stadium of Tufts University, but now some lights installed as well here at Gittleman will allow for some more night games to be played as well throughout the year. Going to be a very good addition overall to the Tufts baseball experience. Duffy's at the plate. He's 2 for 3 with a single home run and a strikeout. The lefty, Siegel deals, pitches down, count 2-0. Siegel deals. Duffy thought about swinging, instead will let it go by, strike 1. Jumbos will at least get to see the top of their lineup once again, but after that 4-run burst in the third, have been unable to really put any other runs on the board since then. Pitch down in the zone there, count 3-1. As Siegel looking to avoid putting that first base runner on. But he will. Pitch upstairs, Duffy to first base, so that'll bring up Ozzie Fleischer. We've seen Fleischer try to show bunt earlier on in this game. Of course, is a very good contact hitter, will get the ball in play in most situations. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Spagdis wants to do. Of course, playing maybe some small ball here when you're down 1 late into this game. Duffy is very quick on the base paths, but of course with the lefty, Siegel gets a little bit of an extra set of equations to input when you're attempting to try to move runners over. Pitch to Fleischer, he shows bunt and will lay one down. Siegel looks and just will fire to first. So Ozzie Fleischer does the job, advances the runner to second, and now 1 in scoring position for the Jumbos with Henry Fleckner coming to the plate. Fleckner is 1 for 3, had a double in his second at-bat in the third. Would be a very big opportunity for him here if he's able to get a run in. First pitch is called a strike. Ben Leonard on deck. So this will flip the lineup around if, of course, nothing too crazy happens in terms of double plays and the like. The 0-1 is upstairs. Nice play by Godfrey to make sure that that ball does not sail into the backstop and allow for an opportunity for a sacrifice fly to even bring a run in. Foul back, 1-2. And Fleckner, of course, getting the first real playing time of his career. His only collegiate hit was March 21st, 2022 against Guilford. The 1-2. In there for strike 3. As Fleckner is caught looking. First strikeout of the game recorded here by Siegel. The breaking ball just getting in there in time before hitting the glove of Godfrey means that there's now 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. Ben Leonard is up. He'll take that first pitch for a strike. Leonard having a decent day at the plate. Saw a couple of pitches, had a nice fly ball into center field in the 6th, but is sitting at 0 for 3 with a walk. And that grabs him on the shoulder. Hit by pitch for Ben Leonard. He'll get onto base for the second time this game. As now there are 2 runners on for the 2-hitter, Patrick Solomon. Solomon, of course, was known to deliver in big opportunities last season. Had that walk-off grand slam while down by 3 against Colby Going to look to try and kick off this Jumbo season potentially with another big moment for himself. He's in a nice spot, 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. And it looks like the MIT coaching staff wants to talk things out here with Ethan Siegel. Siegel had 1 appearance with so far in this season. Of course, it's a very young season. Had 2 innings pitched with no earned runs and only 1 hit allowed with 4 strikeouts. So has been a very, very productive member of this MIT pitching staff so far in the season. Of course, currently sitting at 1-3, not necessarily where the Engineers, a historic program here in Division 3, would necessarily want to be just now, but of course had some very close games that could have gone one way or the other, and are looking to pick up their 2nd victory here if things kind of hold out the same way. Looks like a game plan was given against Solomon, and we'll see if Siegel is able to come through. Again, runners on 1st and 2nd here for the Jumbos. The pitch in there for a strike. Solomon also 0 for 3 with a walk. So looking to pick up his first hit of the season here in a pretty important spot. Siegel sets. Keeping an eye on Duffy at 2nd base. Leonard also at 1st. So some quick base runners on the bags right now for the Jumbos. If a single comes through, it's a pretty good chance that Duffy could come in to score. Count is 1-1, 2 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. Siegel deals. Pitch just down for a ball. The 2-1. Duffy takes another step, shuffles back and forth. Siegel is forced to keep an eye on him a little bit, but will deliver back home as the pitch is upstairs. 3-1 now. Of course, Jimmy Evans is on deck. If a walk is recorded, that is not somebody that you would want to face if you're MIT in this situation. Siegel trying to escape the jam here. The 3-1. Downstairs. And the bases are now juiced for the Jumbo's leading hitter, Jimmy Evans. So it's been 2 walks and a hit by pitch, alongside a strikeout and a sacrifice bunt for this outing here for Ethan Siegel. Coaching staff once again coming out to the mound. That might be it. Looks like instead it'll just be another game plan given out. They are going to trust this sophomore with getting this last out. But of course, it's going to be a pretty tough task. Jimmy Evans, talk about his power, talk about his speed. He's able to get the ball in play and get hit for contact as well. He had 329 on the season in 2022 with 47 hits. That ranks him 3rd among all Jumbos last year and 1st among players that are currently still on the roster. Miles Reed and Peter DeMaria both had some more hits, but it actually will be the end of the day here for Siegel. They're going to bring another pitcher in for the Engineers. Matthew Spenner will enter the game. The freshman out of Darien, Connecticut, has also had a very, very solid first couple of games here as an Engineer. 2 appearances, has 4.1 innings pitched with a 2.08 ERA. But again, another young Engineer given an opportunity to potentially close out a win, get them their 2nd victory of the season. And we'll see if Spenner will be able to deliver. We'll be right back.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for MIT, number 17, Matthew Spenner. Spenner now pitching for the Engineers.
The freshman Matthew Spenner entering the game for MIT. A very, very big spot for the freshman. 2 away, bases loaded. Jimmy Evans, the 3-hitter for the Jumbos, coming up to bat when in a situation where MIT needs to hold their lead here. The heart of the Jumbo order here to potentially capitalize. But Spenner has been good in his appearances so far. Look to continue that success and potentially close out any hope for the Jumbos to come back. Jimmy Evans takes strike 1. Swung on and missed, so quickly down 0-2 in the count. Evans started the swing, realized a little bit too late that it was going to be down in the zone, so decided was unable to hold it up. And now a really good opportunity for Spenner to try and send MIT back into the batter's box. The 0-2. Swung on and missed! And Matthew Spenner delivers 3 straight strikes. And Tufts leave the bases juiced. Jimmy Evans, it was a great opportunity for the Jumbos to potentially try and come back. But they are going to head back into the field for potentially one last time. MIT will come to bat, top of the 9th, right after this. Welcome back to JumboCast coverage of Division III baseball. The Jumbos down 6-5 had a great opportunity to try and bat themselves back into the game. They left the bases loaded after a strikeout from Jimmy Evans. Sent them back into the field. A clutch showing by Matthew Spenner to get them out of that jam. Of course, the engineers sent out Siegel earlier, but were unable to. He was unable to do the job. But now MIT has the heart of the order up. They're looking to add some insurance runs here before they head back onto the field for the bottom of the 9th. Pedezwa has had a very solid outing so far, only allowing that 1 home run earlier to Graham Cartwright. Otherwise, pretty spotless 4 innings of work in relief of Cameron Mayer. That ball is grounded to short. Fleischer is going to have a tough play. The throw is in time. What a play by Ozzie Fleischer. Ball was near the gap, was able to get over and make that play. Kind of momentum swinging against him, was able to record that first out. And the first pitch to Schoenfeld called a strike. The 0-1 is looked at for strike 2. Already Pedezwa off to a very good start against the heart of the MIT order. Schoenfeld 0 for 3 with a walk. We'll take that one in the dirt for a ball. Engineers have Jake Sinandras after this, and Cartwright, the one who hit that home run in the 8th, if things continue to go well for them. The 1-2, down in the dirt for a ball. Pedezwa losing his headband, reapplying it to his forehead and making his way back up to the mound. Count 2-2, 1 away here in the top of the 9th inning. Pedezwa deals. Pitch is high for a full count onto the number 3 hitter, Schoenfeld. Here's the payoff, and it is waved at and missed for a strikeout recorded here for Connor Pedezwa. There are now 2 away here. Jake Sanandris will try and salvage this 9th inning for the Engineers. Is 0 for 4 at his 5th time around the order. 2 strikeouts, reached on an error, and a fly out to left field his last time up. Pitch is in there for a strike. Pedezwa deals once again, a little bit down in the zone, but they're going to give that call to him. 0-2, 1-2 once again. And the pitch in the dirt. Count is now 2-2. Engineers would love to give Cartwright another go. He's had a very solid outing so far. Gonna have to get Jake Sanandris on base first. Ball gets past Bowman. The 2-2 upstairs. And it is a full count with 2 away. Connor Pedezwa trying to get the Jumbos back to the batter's box with only a 1-run deficit to try and overcome. Here's the 3-3-2. Swung on and missed for a strikeout. As Pedezwa retires the side in order, 1-2-3. It's going to be last licks for the Jumbos. They have Bowman, Stowicki, and Soul to try and save their opening game here at Saul Goodman Park. We'll be back with the bottom of the 9th. Three outs remaining for the Jumbos to try and salvage their opening game at Saul Goodman Park. The home opener here for Tufts was a very explosive one to start things off. A 4-run 3rd inning for the Jumbos sent them in front 5-2. But then MIT responded with a 3-run 4th, and 1 home run by Graham Cartwright sent them ahead in the 8th inning. And Matthew Spenner will try to close things out for the Engineers. The Jumbos have the 4, 5, and 6 hitters up to bat. Left the bases loaded in the 8th inning. And they're certainly wishing that that was not the case now. Connor Bowman will take ball 1. Pitch is in for there for a strike. Bowman is 1 for 3, a double and a walk in the 4th and 3rd innings respectively. Spenner will deal, swung on and missed, strike 2. Matthew Spenner has been quick and very efficient so far here in this game. Got the strikeout on Jimmy Evans, one of the Jumbo's most powerful hitters, and now is looking to clean up here. The pitch is swung on, and it is lined barely foul, just right of the first baseline. The 1-2 incoming from Matthew Spenner. Bowman looking to get things started right for the Jumbos in the bottom of the ninth. Pitches down and away, so the count now evens up at 2-2. Pitch is just outside. MIT are praising Spenner there. It was a nice spot. Thought they could maybe chase Bowman away here with an early K to start off. But gonna have to earn this one. Count 3-2. Pitch from Spenner. Swung on, grounded to short. But it is bobbled here by Moore. The throw is away. Bowman thought about maybe going over to second, but there to recover is Godfrey. So Bowman will be on. Believe they'll rule that a reached on error here for the shortstop, Zev Moore. Moore has been great on the offensive end, but had 3 errors in 4 games of shortstop, making that his 4th now. And we have a pinch hitter now here in for Todd Stowicki. Johnny Bridie going to try and get a nice opportunity here. Paul Svagdis relying here on a new fat in the lineup. The junior out of Ridgefield, Connecticut. Didn't see too much time last year, but the lefty, maybe a better matchup here against Spenner. Runner on, nobody out. Jumbo's trying to come back here in this one. They're going to check Bowman. Bridie 1 for 8 in 8 at-bats in 2022. He's going to show bunt. Maybe looking to try and play some small ball here. Stowicki, of course, standing tall at 6'4", maybe not necessarily the best in the bunting area. See the third baseman in right now as Tang wants to make sure that they get at least that out at first. Bridie shows bunt again. That pitch is in there for a strike, and the count is 1-1. Tang still in. Cartwright holding Bowman at first. We'll see if Bridie decides to show bunt again with 1 strike. They're going to try to continue to hold Bowman close to the bag. MIT seemingly in no doubles outfield setup defensively. They have their outfielders way back. Bridie shows bunt, again fouled back. And so now will be forced to swing with the count 1-2. We saw a successful bunt by Ozzie Fleischer back in the 8th inning that got Jackson Duffy over to second base. Unfortunately, unable to capitalize there were the Jumbos, as of course they left the bases loaded last time around. 1-2 count. Tang is back at third base. They are not expecting a bunt to come through with 2 strikes. They once again check Bowman at first. That's not allowed in the major leagues anymore. Only 2 pickoff moves per batter allowed now in professional play. Of course, not the same here in Division III Collegiate. 1-2 count. Spenner delivers down in the dirt. So things have evened up. Bridie getting a really big shot. Potentially was put into bunt, but now has to use that bat. Did have an RBI double in his only hit of the season last year in the very limited playing time that he got. The 2-2. Called strike 3. Bridie is down looking, and there's 1 away. So the pinch hit opportunity did not work out for the Jumbos. As Clay Soul will come to the plate. Had that home run in the 2nd inning. Maybe we'll try to end this one right here. 1 swing would end the game with the runner on. Spenner deals. Pitches down and away, ball 1. Soul also had a single earlier, of course, being that infield single. We're starting off with 2 hits for the Jumbos. win or not, definitely a successful start to the season here for the designated hitter of Tufts. Bowman has been on base a couple of times, has not really shown that he is super willing to steal. Has 2 recorded on the season back in 2022. But of course, with the situation so tense, never can be too safe. Spenner deals. Pitch is in there for a strike. The count is 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 away, 1 runner on as the Jumbos are down 1 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Matthew Spenner, the freshman, looking to close things out for the Engineers. Pitch is swung on and missed. Ball gets past the catcher in Godfrey, and that allows for Bowman to advance to second. So there is now a runner in scoring position for the Jumbos. A single will likely bring them in, and honestly, the Jumbos are not going to be too upset about this situation. Soul has been great so far. Jackson Duffy also has 2 hits recorded here today. Could be a really good opportunity for the Jumbos to try and tie this game up. The 1-2. Did he go? He did not. Check swing there for Clay Soul. MIT wanted that call. Ball was just down in the zone anyway, so it looks like MIT is all right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second base now here for the Jumbos. Clay Soul trying to capitalize here, give Jumbos potential game-tying RBI. Spenner's going to step off. Spenner sets, deals from the stretch. The pitch just outside, and the count is now full. Clay Soul working a very nice at-bat in a position where the Jumbos definitely need it. Jackson Duffy on deck. Ozzie Fleischer in the hole. Pitch down and outside. Ball 4 called. The Jumbos now have 2 runners on, with Jackson Duffy coming to the plate. One of the hottest hitters so far today. Duffy had a home run, a 3-run bomb to give them a good opportunity to get the lead there in the 3rd inning. Also had a single to open up his season. Had a strikeout in the 5th and was, I believe, hit by a pitch or reached on a base on balls in the 8th inning. Now given another good opportunity. The pitch in the dirt. Bowman will stay at second. Tufts, of course, was in this situation in the 8th as well. They had the bases loaded with Jimmy Evans coming to the plate. Svenner was able to shut them down, but now placed in a bit of a jam after allowing 2 base runners to get on. The 1-0. Swung on and popped up. Moore is going to settle under it and drop the ball. The ball is dropped. Here comes Bowman. He's going to get in safely at third. And the freshman brothers, Zev and Eitan Moore, both coming up with crucial errors down the stretch. And the Jumbos now have the bases loaded with 1 away. Ozzie Fleischer, one of the team's best contact hitters, is coming to the plate. And this is a really great situation for the Jumbos. They failed last time in the 8th. Can they come back in the 9th? It seemed like a routine fly ball into left field. Eitan Moore unable to capitalize on that catch. A very different situation now. The pitch to Fleischer is in there for strike 1. So the 2nd straight inning, the Jumbos have the bases loaded. Looking to try and not repeat history with the bottom of their lineup up to bat. Henry Fleckner is on deck. The pitch in the dirt. Nice stop there by Godfrey to prevent any runners from coming in. A pass ball will mean this game at least goes into extra innings. MIT have the corners in. They will look to turn the double play if the ball is hit to either of their middle infielders. The 1-1. Swung on, foul tipped back. Godfrey unable to pick that up, but not going to matter. And Fleischer is now down 1-2. He's able to play really defensively with his approaches on 2 strikes. Again, has not recorded very many strikeouts here in his career. And will at least try to get the ball in play. The 1-2. Spenner deals. Ball is popped foul. Jumbo's trying to end their home debut in a celebratory fashion. The pitch for Spenner is swung on and missed. Fleischer down on strikes in a situation you don't see too often. One of the best contact hitters in the NESCAC does go down with a K. And with the bases loaded, 2 outs, seemingly a familiar situation for the Tufts Jumbos. They're looking to at least have the opportunity to save their game in the bottom of the 9th. Henry Fleckner, one of the newest members to this lineup, is up to bat. Spenner deals. Ball in the dirt. Bowman looking with a very aggressive secondary lead at third base. If any ball goes in the dirt, it's a pretty interesting situation. Do you risk the game ending on trying to grab that game-tying run? Pitch is in there at the letters for a strike. MIT looking to avoid a situation that happened to them against UMass Boston where they blew a lead in the 9th inning. Spenner sets and deals. Pitch down again, 2-1. We've seen Spenner try to attack the low part of the zone. Jumbos have been struggling at the knees and in that area. Two-one is the count. The pitch down and away. Oh, and the catcher tried to fake it out. The ball gets past the third baseman and Tang. Bowman's going to go around and score. They leave Sowell at third. The runners advance, and Godfrey makes a crucial mistake. Almost a trick play. The ball in the dirt. He looked to try and pretend and fake out the ball heading the backstop. Bowman took a little bit of an extra aggressive step, and the throw over to Tang was misplayed. And the Jumbos have tied the game at 6. What a turn. One simple throw was all the difference that it made. MIT with 3 errors in these last 2 innings, and that might prove costly here. MIT had their game against UMass Boston also really swing the other way off of a pass ball just last Thursday. And the count is now 3-1. The pitch in the dirt or just low. And so Leonard will advance. The bases are loaded once again. Sorry, Fleckner will advance. The bases loaded once again as Ben Leonard will come to the plate, trying to walk things off now at Gittleman Park. And that might be it for Spenner. He ended a really, really tense 8th inning with a strikeout onto Jimmy Evans, but has struggled here in keeping his control in the 9th. Has allowed a bunch of walks. 4 base runners have been let on base. And now at the top of the Jumbo lineup up, it's a really tough situation here for the coach of MIT, Andy Barlow. They're going to leave Spenner in. All the trust of the Engineers are in on their freshman pitcher. Ben Leonard looking to close things out here. Jumbo's now actually with a ton of leverage. Even if they get out here, the game still goes into extra innings. The pitch. Did that hit him? It hit him just on the foot. They ruled the ball not hitting the dirt first. And Ben Leonard and the Tufts Jumbos with a walk-off hit by pitch in a really incredible change of events. Matthew Spenner looked lights out for his first few appearances and really fell apart here in the bottom of the 9th. An error here, an error by the catcher in Godfrey, followed by a walk-off hit by pitch, will send the Jumbos in here with a victory. They take their first game of the season at Saul Goodman Park. Final score, Jumbo 7, Engineers 6. What a game. What a odd ending to what was otherwise a very exciting game. And you know, of course, these two teams both with some newer pieces to the roster, a lot of freshmen coming in, and they were unable to, you know, capitalize on the defensive end this time around, but hopefully it will be a good experience for them as they fall to 1-4 on the season, and will look to try and right things as they continue their way throughout the regular season and into NUMAC play. But that's going to do it for us here at JumboCast. Thank you for sticking with us in what has been a pretty chaotic, eventful first broadcast of the season. And I have been Andrew Howe. Thank you alongside the rest of my staff, Ethan Ito, Jordan Burke, Max Antonini on the camera, doing a lot to help us out. Bit of a short-handed crew here at JumboCast for our first game of the spring season on the baseball field. But we'll hopefully be back for more. The Jumbos play again on Wednesday against Brandeis. You can catch that on the PAC Network, Wednesday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. But until then, we'll be back shortly for the rest of our spring season. Of course, the Jumbos will host the women's basketball tournament as well this weekend. That coverage will be here on JumboCast, as well as a lot of other good events in the upcoming weeks. We wish you farewell. So long. Have a wonderful rest of your night.